Good evening. My name is Lauren Nidell. I am actually not speaking on behalf of the Sanders campaign just as a local activist for Bernie Sanders. I do want to make that clear. I was, however, the state contact for Bernie Sanders in 2016, and I was a 2016 delegate to the Democratic National Convention. I'm also a member of the Rhode Island Democratic State Committee. I think we all know what Bernie has said in his past. He was a former mayor of Burlington, Vermont, state congressman in Vermont, to senator, and he ran obviously previously for president in 2016. He really has created a whole new set of guidelines for how it is to run for president. Besides the fact that he has over 1 million people that are volunteering for him, his amazing fundraising, he has switched gears to make sure that people are really hearing what he says. And over the last 30 years, he's been saying the same thing on Medicare for all, anti-war issues, being against the Iraq War, and that narrative has now taken mainstream in the 2020 elections. Here's just a little quote from Bernie. "Let us wage a moral and political war against war itself so that we can cut military spending and use that money for human needs." Bernie has been outspoken against interventionism. He has, he believes that the sanctions that we've imposed on government is leading to the crisis that we now face regarding immigration, regarding climate change, as far as what people have to move from their areas to for immigration. And with the War and Peace, he has also come out against he's come out against Netanyahu on the Israeli issue and in favor of Palestinian rights. He is outspoken in the sense that he believes that the interventionism that has happened over the course of the last 50, 60 years is one of the reasons why there's so much unrest throughout the world. He's against the endless wars. He came out against Iraq. He believes that our troops have been in Iraq since 2003 and Syria since 2015 and many other places. It's long past time for Congress to reassert its constitutional authority over the use of force to responsibly end these interventions and bring our troops home. He is against the Yemen war, and he has come out for diplomacy there, and he also wants to rejoin the Iran nuclear agreement and talk to Iran on a range of other issues. He believes in pro-democracy and diplomacy and against endless wars and intervention. Yeah, so I kind of touched base on a few of the issues that Bernie has spoken about over the last 30 years. I did forget to mention that he was the chair of the Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs in 2013 to 2015. So the veterans issues, war, peace, and bringing service people home is critical to his agenda. A couple of the other details and issues that Bernie has spoken about over the past is that he wants to make sure that Congress can reassert its constitutional role in war making so that no president can wage unauthorized and unconstitutional interventions overseas. He has led that charge. It passed the Senate, it passed the House, only to be vetoed by Trump. He wants to end U.S. support for the Saudi-led intervention in Yemen, which he believes has created the world's most humanitarian catastrophe. He wants to work with pro-democracy forces across the world to build societies that work for and protect all people in the United States, Europe, and elsewhere. Democracy is under threat of forces of intolerance, corruption, and authoritarianism. And some of the past votes that he has, of course, Bernie has a long record. And it's important to go back and think about what he's done in the past to really show who he will be as president. He did vote against the first Gulf War, which led to the second Gulf War. He voted for, he did vote for the Afghan war to capture Osama bin Laden. He voted yes on deploying non-essential U.S. troops out of Iraq in 9 months. He voted no on designating Iran's Revolutionary Guards as terrorists. He voted yes on redeploying U.S. troops out of Iraq in March of 2008. He voted no on declaring Iraq part of the war on terror with no exit date. He voted no in approving removal of Saddam and valiant services of U.S. troops. He voted no on authorizing military forces in Iraq. He voted yes on disallowing the invasion of Kosovo. He condemns anti-Muslim bigotry in name of anti-terrorism, and he would require Congress' approval before military action in Iran. Bernie has a track record of being the most anti-war candidate out there. He has lived it, he has communicated it, and he's the one that will bring the most diplomacy and change the narrative and the direction that this country is heading and which this world is heading, could end up in. So that's some of the reasons why I support Bernie. I support all these votes, and he's the one to lead us into a path of peace versus the destruction of war. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Mark.